Welcome back, students. Now we are going to discuss about the diversity in the living world. Diversity in the living world. Word diversity itself explains that various forms of life. Diverse means many forms. For example, if we are going in a forest, we are going to see many kind of organisms, many kind of insects, many kind of mammals, many kind of plants, trees, many kinds of organisms are present in a forest. But when we are going in a city, the number of organisms they decrease, the number of variety of plants that also decrease. Okay, so in various places there are different kind of organisms, different kind of animals, different kind of plants, they are present. But in case of forest there are many, and even the forest type of forest, they are also different, and that also include different kind of flora and fauna. Flora, plants; fauna, animal life. Okay, so flora and fauna are also there. Now we are discussing about the biodiversity. Biodiversity basically it confines itself to the bio, that is living. So diversity and biodiversity are related. Diversity is a vast word that can be used in various other things also, but biodiversity it confines to the living only, and it is related to the living beings only. So here we are going to discuss about the number and type of living organisms present in an area. For example, we are taking any area in consideration, like we are taking the area of a field, we are taking an area of a city, we are taking an area of forest. So according to that we will consider the biodiversity. Yes. So under biodiversity there are certain things that come. So firstly is the nomenclature. Nomenclature is the process of giving name to a particular living being. For example, if we are talking about a dog, so what is dog? Word dog explains an organism which is having 4 legs and 1 tail and a mouth, all that thing, that can bark also. So when we are taking any name of any organism, that organism come in front of our eyes or in our mind, that is the nomenclature. So the process by which we give name to an organism. For example, if we talk about rose, so rose, when we talk about rose, there suddenly comes a plant that is having beautiful flowers. Okay, so nomenclature, the process by which we give name to a particular organism, that is nomenclature. Then is identification. Identification is the process in which we describe correctly any organism that we know. For example, if we are going to discuss about any plant, like let's take example of hibiscus, that is also known as China rose. So when we are going to explain that plant, we will think about the flower, we will think about the type of leaves, we will think about the type of stem. So all those characters which help in the description of an organism, that characters lead to the identification. So identification is the process in which we describe correctly an organism that we know. Okay, the organism is known to us only and we are explaining that. Fine. So nomenclature, we are going to further explain it. That is, we are using in the biology, the nomenclature is also known as binomial nomenclature. Nomenclature, again same, the technique of giving name. Bi means two, nominal means names, so it means two names. for example, when I am talking about my name, okay, so my name is Ankush, then Sharma. So this is also a binomial nomenclature, Ankush, Sharma. Similarly, when we talk about a lion, Panthera, Leo. If we talk about tiger, Panthera, Tigris. Now there is a thing that what kind of name of this, what kind name of this, what is the kind, mean to say how, what, why the same name is there in this case and why it is different, and what we call this, what we call this. Actually, the binomial nomenclature includes two main terms, that is generic name and this one is specific name. Generic name indicates the genus and specific name indicates the species. This we will discuss further also in the other topic. Let's move further. Biological names are there are certain rules, na? For every nomenclature there are certain rules. So rules for nomenclature. First rule is biological names are generally in Latin language. If they are not in the Latin language, they have to be Latinized. Okay, so they have to be converted into the Latin language. Then second rule, first word of name represents the genus, while the second denotes the specific epithet or simply species. Fine. Third rule, both words in a biological name are separately underlined when handwritten. And if printed, they are printed in italics to indicate their Latin origin. Italics means the simple, like these all words are there, it's okay. If you see this one clearly, yeah, here you can see Magnifera Indica. You can observe the words are little bit tilted, not the normal ones, they are different from the normal one. This is a biological name written here, Magnifera. Magnifera is the genus and Indica is the species. This is the botanical name of mango, Magnifera Indica. Okay, and you can see italics is also there. The alphabets are little bit tilted. The word denoting the genus start with a capital letter, while the specific epithet with a small letter. Yes. Fourth rule is that the first word denoting genus starts with capital letter, while the specific epithet starts with small letter. You can see the same thing here also. Again I am going to highlight this. See, Magnifera Indica, M capital Magnifera. This is generic name, and then from here specific epithet starts, and I is in small letters. Okay, so there should not be any kind of confusion. It must be clear that this generic name, when it is starting, it will start with a capital letter, and the specific name will never start with a capital letter. It will always be in the small letters.